Where have they been?
Whoa. Where have they been?
Where are
They
they? Where were they located during those past 3 to 4 weeks when they were missing? The
who
boys.
knows? But I think we need a special for this. We need a whole special.
We need a special, an after
We
school special, because the boys have been at school this whole time doing work,
the,
very busy. No
the
sleep, just
finals.
coffee.
The finals, man, the finals. It haunts me. I wake up. I look at it.
Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome back to the return. I guess you could call this like a season two, if you may, of Not Your Grandma's podcast. Main quest now.
We're in the after school special area, guys. We're in the after school.
This is like the OVA in the anime, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. We got
Anyways, welcome
stuff to
Demit.
discuss.
Welcome me. So anyways, yeah, so essentially we've been gone. A lot of things has been going on. Very busy. School once again has killed me. But we're done.
We
Finals are
did it.
done. Papers are in. Grades are done. Let's
We
go.
we did it. We did it. Boys, we
Yeah,
did it.
we did it. We did it. Anyways, how you been, Demit?
I've been doing pretty good. Not gonna lie, I had a pretty good end of the semester. I was, you ever like try to write papers, but you can't really write it until it's like the day before.
No.
No, like you
I
know,
tend to write my papers like at least a week in advance.
you see, I can start researching, but when it comes to like typing, I can write a sentence. But
I
like
can't. I'm so nervous if I don't have my paper done at least a week in advance.
I I just need it done like the day before, and then like my paper's written like that day. Then
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But anyway, um, we have an
Anything else
album.
new?
I mean, not much. I mean, eventually, I got summer plans. I got some summer plans. I'm
I
working
got
on
summer
video
plans too.
games.
You know, festivals to participate in, video games to play, books to read. You know, I'm gonna plan on hopefully reading Dune after having bought the book back in like October, and have yet
Yeah,
to like actually get past the first chapter.
I have that issue as well. But I'm hoping to read on. As you know, I'm gonna be taking some traveling safety. Don't worry, I'll be double masked on the plane and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna have a vacation. Um, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. For me, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, my end of the semester's been decent. I had one class in particular that haunts me till this day.
W-
It was a fine class, very chill, nothing going on, but the final paper was graded kind of harshly, you know. In terms of like maybe the highest grade in the class being a 32 out of 40 potentially. That's
wait,
the highest I've heard.
really?
Yeah.
Like no one got anything higher?
I out of like the 10 people that I've talked to in that class, I haven't heard anyone get higher than like a 32 out of 40.
So I'm not. I've heard about this class fiasco. So that means like everyone dropped down a letter grade. I'm
Everyone
probably
dropped down a letter grade. Yes, and when
and
yeah, it's very annoying.
so
But you know
no
what?
A's.
Water under the bridge. My 4.0 is ruined.
That's okay. It's okay. Listen, to be fair, like I didn't have a 4.0 coming out of freshman year. I had 1C my first semester and then a B the second. And then, A minuses are awful, but they
Yeah.
happen, whatever.
Yeah, no,
But
I had no I only had A's first semester and then like now I got with this one B, which is tearing me up. But one
but
day, it's sad, but one day, I'll get over it.
yeah, you just need to have your other like year come in and
Yeah,
then be
exactly.
thankful. All
But
right.
anyways, good times all around. End of semester, just glad it's all over. Let's get to the music.
Let's talk about Little Dark Age by
Lit-
MGMT.
One of my favorite albums ever.
Revisiting this album, I started to realize that I really don't have a song I dislike on here.
No, it at first when I was first listening to it, like way back when, I kind of like had songs here and there that I thought were like eh, but over time I've come to realize that every song is pretty good.
Yeah, even I mean, in my opinion, like overall, like we're gonna talk about each song in a second, but I think the first half is the strongest half,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I forgot about the second half, and I always assumed like in the head I thought, okay, first five songs amazing, the rest are just mediocre, and then I listened to it again, and I was like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I know. So yeah, we'll get to them, but like, anyway, starting off with the first one, she works out too much. Probably one of the smartest songs off the album. Not smartest, but one of the funniest songs, I guess. Kind of putting the blame on the other partner that she works out too much, and that instead of like, oh, it's my fault.
Yeah, it's such a n- and also like the interludes that come in about like, it's like that 80s kind of workout sample or something. I don't know, it's just so it gives you a smile, and the way that it just hits with these chords that are so messy that only a synthesizer can achieve. That's the beauty of it. Like MGMT is doing stuff only synths can do, and like nothing else can like really sound like that. Give
Yeah,
that
it's very
bombastic feel.
yeah, it's very tongue in cheek as well.
Remember to drink a glass of water before and after you work out.
Yeah. Then we got Little Dark Age coming in with a little more of a moodier song. We come from this very light and bright, she works out too much, to Little Dark Age, kind of starting off the part of the album that's very, very, very mysterious.
Yeah, it's just such a it feels like there's like this little secret inside of you. I don't know, it's spooky, man. It's spooky. It just makes you
Yeah.
feel so edgy, but the synthesizers on here, the like pulsating chords that are coming through, and just the aesthetics that are coming with these great vocal lines that just sound like they're drowned into the synthesizer, like it's trying to reveal some secrets to us, but it's stuck in the synths. And that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and the choruses are really strong as well. Just they're super catchy and very like for a song that's kind of as weird as this to have a chorus that sticks out like that is really a nice addition.
Yeah. What a great song. And this was the first single, I think, when this album was coming out. And I remembered that was the first time I heard of MGMT, if I'm being honest, was when this single dropped. Because I was like not into the music circle, but slightly in there. There's a guy I watched who is a very like over the top Green Day fan, like to a point where it's annoying. But I watched this channel and he talked about this song being like, this is like the record I'm most anticipated for, and I was like, huh, what is this?
Yeah, no, I knew MGMT before with like kind of like the first album is Time to Pretend, all the
I
classics.
knew the songs, but I didn't like know it. Like I didn't.
They didn't connect it, yeah. Like it was Time to Pretend was that song that was in all the 2000
It
movie
was in
trailers.
when I remember like really finally like searching out for it. It was in that Spider-Man trailer.
Right, right.
Yeah, but then you have
Uh,
When You Die.
when You Die, which one is one of my favorites. The acoustic guitar is a really nice addition to it. This song, because it's like one of the rare moments when you get an acoustic instrument on it.
Yeah, and the way the vocals are just processed through here, it's amazing. Especially when verse 2 comes
Yeah,
in, when he says, "Go fuck yourself," you really feel that.
yeah,
Like it, they don't. This album doesn't really curse a lot, but when it does, it really hits you, and that's a moment that really hits me. And I always have to sing it as loud as possible in the car.
yeah. And
And
the
it's
build up as well at the beginning of the song, right after you do that little intro, the like where you have the snares going and stuff is really like kind of explodes with that verse
don't
coming
forget
in.
about when you finally get to the chorus, which is weird because it's like I guess it's a chorus, but it only comes first when it says, he's saying, "Baby, I'm ready, ready," and it just goes, "You die."
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's a strange song, but it really works.
All of these structures are just really weird, which is why I
Hmm.
like that there's no like traditional structure to it, where it's not like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, like
Yeah,
with
they kind of
just
just do whatever they think
and
sounds
then
best,
the next song is Me and Michael, which
which is an
I don't know about
amazing
you.
song about friendship.
Yeah. It is about friendship, right? Or is it about no, isn't it about wait a minute.
I think it's about friendship.
Okay, okay. I wasn't sure. Like part of me thinks it's about friendship, but I could also see this being like a it's weird. Like if you didn't know the duo, you could assume that this is like a song about two gay lovers. you know. But
Mm-hmm. Which I mean, it could double for that as well. I remember I read something that it was about friendship, but
no,
maybe
I
I'm wrong.
I think hold up. We got the genius pulled up here. We got the genius.
Okay,
Um
okay, okay. Tell me,
okay,
hurry up.
according to Genius, it's just about a love for synth pop, European synth pop.
Okay, sounds
So
good.
it's
But I
probably
mean,
friendship. I
yeah,
think that's the beauty of it. You can like take it however you want. Um, but
and it works.
and it's so nice. And this was the song I would listen to repeat. Like if I needed to show people that Little Dark Age is a good album, that you need to listen to the whole thing and they need a taste, I showed them this because it's so fucking catchy.
Yeah,
It's fun. So
yeah,
David,
cool. That
how much
yeah.
time do you spend looking at your phone?
I looking at my phone.
Yeah.
I spend a lot. Apparently, 7 hours a day, according to my phone, to my cellular, or I have 7 hours of usage according to my iPhone stats.
Oh man.
But anyways, yeah, time spent looking at my phone. T Slamp, a really really good song as well. The Latin vibes on it really got me when I first heard it. I wasn't expecting the change up.
Yeah. And it works. And the like low key synthesizers that are kind of like, really held back. The groove is there. The vocals are still doing their amazing thing. I just always you see, Rivers Cuomo should know this is how you write about spending too much time on your phone. I don't know.
Yeah, and then also the guitar solo as well. It felt very like flamenco, which felt in the Latin vibe. I can't tell if it's an actual acoustic guitar or if it's like a synth
I
acoustic.
mean,
What
it it could be both. Combination of both.
Yeah, I couldn't exactly figure it out. I think it's a synth, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. I could feel that cuz it does have that plucky feel to it that can like it's got that almost computer perfection to it. But
Yeah, it's a bit much. Not much in a bad way, but a bit much in the sense of like for it to be a live guitar.
it could have slight live guitar layered into it,
Yeah, potentially.
which I like doing that as a technique. So
Yeah. Cool. Then we got James.
see, this is a song that's one that I didn't like pay attention to at first, but I it's weird. I just like the vibe of it. It's one that I don't
Hmm.
really look to lyrically. I kind of just chill with it.
Yeah, it's a nice break from like all the. I mean, it's not. It's like to me, it's not the best song on the album, but it's not bad at all. It's a nice break from all these like heavy hitters that we just had.
Yeah. And this song is actually just it's dedicated to James Richardson, who was a band member of MGMT who helped record their 2010 album. Congratulations.
Mm,
So that's pretty cool. You know,
yeah,
they got a song dedicated to him.
yeah. Then we got Days That Got Away, which is super atmospheric and super vibey, as you said.
All right, this is the one. This is the one. Like, I like a lot of these songs. This is on my lowest end personally,
Mm-hmm.
for obvious reasons. I don't. It goes on for like I consider it just an instrumental. Sure, there's an outro that has like Days That Got Away, but I don't know.
Yeah,
The instrumental kind of drags a bit for me.
yeah. I think it's a little. Yeah, I agree that it drags.
And but then you get One Thing Left to Try, which I think that's like the darkest song.
Yeah, especially with that outro.
Yeah, it's just man, it's such a like this is probably like I really like it. Like it helps to give you a side of the struggles of dealing with depression and suicidal thoughts and trying to feel alive. And if you haven't been in that area, I think it's like a good representation of it. And I wouldn't say it romanticizes it like some artists accidentally do.
It just brings it to the forefront, and I think the music kind of portrays that in the most rawest way it can.
Yeah, that's what if you were an artist that was trying to, do this wrong, you would take these lyrics and then put it behind like, I don't know, just something instrumentally that wouldn't work would like you'd be able to tell that this song just gives it a lovey feeling to Suicide.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even the lyrics itself, like looking at it more, I think it's actually, now the more I think about it, it really does paint the depressing picture of depression.
Yeah. No, I agree. Then we got When You're Small, which is one of the more low key songs off the album, but still great.
It's a cool one because I like the idea of like it's very metaphorical for about when you're a small artist versus when you're big. Yeah, I'm not trying to be like, you need a big brain to understand these lyrics, but that's such a cool thing to talk about. How when you're small, you have less pressure, you're able to be more artistically free, but at the same time, you don't, there's certain troubles that you have, and it's talking about the complicated thing of being in a small group and not as well known versus being a star hit. And ironically enough, on this Spotify, this is the lowest hitting song number. Like it only has 5 million plays compared to all the others.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Uh,
I love this song. I think it's very, like you said, the metaphors are perfect. It makes all the sense. The music as well is just so, it fits really well with what it's talking about. Like a lot of the songs in this album does.
yeah,
And then we got finally Hand It Over, which is really really good. I like this. I think this is a really really good outro for this album.
yeah, it is. Um, it's just such a nice song, and the way they keep repeating. They repeat "Handed Over" at the end, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
it's rightfully mine, and I
Yeah, and
don't.
the little things he says in between the handed overs really mean a lot.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It just fits this like it really creates this dark age and paints you a picture of what MGMT is going through. Um, and to have an album that's so personal and open, that's what I think is really beautiful about this album is you have a more intimate look into these artists' lives versus sometimes you're really supposed to paint it with tons of metaphors and you only have a surface level. I feel like MGMT allowed us to dive a bit deeper into what they're facing through and what they're experiencing.
Yeah, I completely agree. So what'd you give this album?
Like I personally think it's a 9. That's my score.
I was gonna give it a
I
nine
think
too.
it's like the only thing that I really like just like there's some like I guess lyrical elements that don't hit as hard as others, but they still are like, really good songs. The only thing I don't like about
Hmm.
it is literally Days That Got Away just drags too much for me. That's my one gripe.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes when I'm listening to the whole album, I just kind of have to skip midway through because it's just like, when if I have to like think when is this song going to end, like not because like, well, it's part. I should say this. I don't hate the song, but while I'm listening to it, I do think to myself, when is this going to end? Because it's kind of the same thing over and over again. There's not really much different
I
going on
think
throughout it.
4 minutes and 44 seconds is too long for that track.
If maybe if they had like made this into like an interlude, it would have been
Yeah, but
perfect.
they said fuck it, whole song.
Yeah, yeah. Which I'm surprised that this song. So this song has more plays than When You're Small.
mm.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Also, um, never mind. But yeah, I agree. Yeah. Sorry, I just got caught off
Okay.
guard because I was looking at Spotify and I saw like on the right to me that somebody was listening to something called Dear Donda, which confused me. Right, by Kanye West, and it says it's an EP. I mean, these are all songs that were out before, but it's like I need to share this to you really quick. I'm like really fucking confused where this came from.
All right.
I'm gonna have to like do my research in
All
a
right.
second here.
Oh, maybe can you do that research
Okay, sorry.
later?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, 9 out of 10, good album. We like it a lot. Now, so in terms of the new stuff that's come out in the past couple weeks, we're gonna speed run the things we've listened to. We're not gonna talk about everything. Van
I
Weezer came out. We're gonna talk about that very briefly. I feel like we might. do more on it at some point in the future. But for right now, we're just gonna
I
talk
think
about
we
it a little,
might
just
need
very
to
brief.
like pull Matt for this. In my opinion,
Yeah, I was gonna
this
say.
album has some. I think it has some good ideas, and there's some really strong songs on it. But there's also some real shit on it. Like
Yeah, I thought it was super mid. I thought like the kind of the bad outweighed
I
the
mean,
good in a
for
lot of
me, there's
moments.
all right for out of songs like that I dislike. There's about three. Blue Dream, Sheila Can Do It, She Needs Me. Everything else, even one more hit that has the infamous line "Pump it up into me, please, daddy," I think is pretty good, and I like Precious Metal Girl. Um, but overall, it has its issues. Blue Dream is really the thing that just shits all over the. It's such a bad song. I don't.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
we'll give our score later
Okay,
on.
but
But one thing I didn't want to discuss is that OK Human AJR remix,
God,
which by the way, what were they thinking?
why?
It's very, very bad. I
Well,
hate it so much. It's such a like all my favorite songs are so good too, and then they come up and just
you know what
ruin it.
makes me more sad? The fact that this
What?
track apparently has already over 1 million plays.
Yeah, people like this track, and I don't
Well,
understand why. Like I was looking at it, um, and I was looking down at the comments. We were like, "This is a perfect blend of Weezer and AJR. It's like so good." Da 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 da. And I couldn't find a single bad
well,
comment, or at least as with a little bit I
here's what I
looked.
think. Here's my like guess. So I think Weezer fans generally probably aren't listening to this because I saw this, their comments on the Reddit, right?
Yeah.
I think this is mainly. So what I've noticed a lot is lately I've been getting a lot of videos recommended of like AJR love. I'm like, I don't like AJR. I think it's
Hmm.
all the. I understand they're very, very, very popular, and like considering like they're. I didn't even listen to OK Orchestra, but apparently that had like a lot of hits.
OK Orchestra.
It's an AJR album. I don't want to
Oh,
listen to
okay.
it. It's AJR, like, but they have a huge fan base, and I gotta respect them for that. So of course, it's gonna get a bunch of love from their fans. I think if you like AJR, you'll probably like the remix. That's what I think.
Yeah,
But
I can see that too, but I just couldn't like it. Everything it kind of like ruined. It didn't ruin all my favorite songs for me. 'Cause I still like it, but like that remix ruined the
what
song by
what
itself.
does interest me in a potential, I would be interested in getting like a OK Human remix album, like but different artists, like features on each like song. Like somebody was saying,
Mm,
what if for Here Comes the Rain, you got like a Billy Joel feature or an Elton John feature?
that would be cool.
Yeah, so I'm really open to that idea. That like so like giving each song its own unique character with different artists, even though like that song sucked with AJR, I feel like there's potential that I'd be interested in.
They should do like a OK Human in the Tree of Clues.
Yeah, exactly. And but not put the all my favorite songs on it. Get rid of it.
Yeah, just leave that to the side.
Um, Other news. I do have some. Jason Coleman has dropped. J. Cole. He did it.
I didn't listen to it.
Oh man, the off season. Okay. I'm gonna give a couple thoughts on here really quick. I think it's a pretty good album for a J. Cole album, but it's also a J. Cole album. So it's pretty much got the same things that he's always known for. It has one really corny line that I've been like quoting all the time. The I put an M on your head, you Luigi brother now.
Man turned into Elon Musk for a
Yeah.
second.
And it's right on the first track, right on the first one. But um I got to say this is a pretty like out of J. Cole, I prefer 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I like that album quite a bit. But this is pretty damn good. It's not as
Yeah.
good, but it's pretty damn good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If you like rap, you have to pull up the lyrics. That's like I don't know. The lyrics go by so fast, and I think there are a lot of clever lines in there that it's one that I have to read through. So,
What would you rate the wait, hold up. First of all, what would you rate the AJR remix?
oh, out of 5, 0.
Okay, me too. What would you rate the J. Cole album?
Out of my first listen, I'd say between a 6 and a 7. Like I enjoyed it. Um, but I'm trying to find out how much I have to really keep diving into it more.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you listen to before we get to the stuff that we both kind of listen to?
Um, uh, did you listen to Squid?
No, I actually haven't listened to Squid yet.
Okay,
I
so
was meaning to listen to at some point soon.
it's not as good as the Black Country New Road album, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I heard that it wasn't like it just didn't hit as hard as like some of the singles did.
The problem was, I think the album suffers from being, it was a tad bloated. Like, I started listening to it and I was like, okay, okay. And somehow I just got, there was a thing where I was less of saying, when will this song end? I now was saying, when will this album end? It, it had that issue with it, but it still had
Mhm.
some cool ideas. So, like, I agree with the
Yeah,
bald man on this.
I mean like Narrator was just a great song.
Yes, and it still is.
Yeah, and it still is.
But as the bald man said, it's a 7 out of 10. A lot of people were pissed at him for like giving it that score, but I was not, because I was like, I saw everyone going crazy about this album, but it was not hitting me as much as it did for Black Country. Black Country hit me hard. This did not.
Yeah. Black Country New Roads, by the way, for those wondering, for the first time.
Yeah, great album.
Yeah. Anything else?
I did listen to the new Green Day single.
Okay, I haven't listened to that either.
Because I was curious, because I didn't know that was happening. I took a listen to it. It was I gotta say, it's better than Here Comes the Shock, but it's very meh. Like, it's just not offensive anymore. We've gotten past that point. But I'm scared what this. I feel like this Green Day album's not going to be as bad as Father of All.
I
It's
mean,
going
I
to be
hope.
very mediocre.
I hope it's not.
I don't know. There's just no character to it. It feels, but there's a bit more going on with this new Green Day song, Pollyana. I also listened to, this came out today, and I needed to check it out. And you've been listening to the 21 Pilot singles, right?
I listened to the one that came out. Oh, what was the song? It was a boring one.
Choker,
No, I didn't listen to
Shy Away,
Joker.
or Choker? Choker or Shy Away?
Wait, I don't know. Wait, let me see. I know it. What was it? I think I listened to both.
Yeah,
Hold up. Let me listen to both of these real quick. Let me just play a quick second of it.
yeah,
Talk to them. Talk to them. Talk to the people.
yeah. So while David's listening to this, basically they just dropped the song today, and I was like, I wasn't crazy about Shy Away or Choker, and I was like, okay, this, I'm scared for this album, which is a shame because the album art is so good. And so I listened to Saturday, which is their new track, and man, I'm sad. That's what I can say. I'm not looking forward to this album. This is my least favorite track. It sounds like something you'd hear at a clothing store playing on repeat, but you don't want it to
Yeah.
be playing. It's about Saturday night. This, I think there's some story about this album supposed to be bad or something. I don't know, like in context of their whole 21 Pilots universe, but I'm really not looking forward to this album. I
I
was
think that's just I feel like that's just an excuse they made. Like you can't just be like before you make an album, be like, all right, guys, this is gonna be bad. Don't worry.
like, this is just, I don't know. It's so, it's everything I hate. Saturday is everything I hate about pop.
I haven't heard Saturday, but I did listen to Shy Away and Choker, and those songs are bad. The rapping at the end of forget which one, but the rapping at the end of one of them was just really bad,
It's
and the rest of them are just so generic and so shitty.
it makes me sad because I was never a 21 Pilots hater. I enjoyed Blurry Face. I enjoyed Trent's. Vessel is pretty cool. Like, I never really hated the group, but whatever they're doing right now, can they stop?
Yeah.
Please. I'm not looking forward to this album. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Is that Saturday really killed my entire hype for it, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
a shame because um, but
Cause just cause.
uh, I I do have, there's been a lot. I listened to Porter Robinson. That's really good. Just a quick shout out there. He has a new album called Nurture. It's really, really good. It's fantastic. It brings you to a new journey. It's not like his other stuff. It's awesome. Um, Also, Kero Bonito. Did you listen to
I
that?
haven't listened to that.
Civilization 2, it's 3 songs, fantastic 3 songs. It was amazing. You
All
know,
right, I'll have to listen to it then.
I've been listening to stuff while I like write or research, so that's what I do. Like I like put it on, and then like I take a closer look, and I started listening to debate. No. oh, why could I forget? Jeff Rosenstock released Ska Dream on
that
420.
that I heard. That
That
I listened to, and that was pretty good.
that was really damn. Did you ever listen to the original Jeff
I
Rosenstock
I
album?
right after I listened to the ska dream, I listened to the original one, and that was really good. But I don't know what it is. I like the ska one just slightly more.
I think so. I think he like turned up the speed on the ska
Yeah,
one, and I really like that existed because I was listening to no, I've listened. I'm a Jeff Rosenstock enjoyer, a big one, and so I thought this was a joke when he posted like Ska Dream coming out on 420. I was like, what a meme, but then
yeah,
it happened, and I listened to it and I was blown away with how good it was.
yeah. It's like shockingly good. I know. Whenever we were talking to Matt, I was talking about how ska is dead. I'm gonna have to take back that statement that
Yeah,
I said. Ska is not dead. Jeff Rosenstock brought it back to life from the brink of death.
I think if he like spawns a movement for Scott to come back, I think the main thing that like lets Jeff Rosenstock breathe life into it is the way his singing is so sloppy and but his lyrics are like so I I love his lyrical writing. That's like it's pure punk rock, but it like touches on important issues.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good album. I like it a lot. Would you rate it anything, or would you not like rate it?
Scott Dream,
Yeah.
um, I gotta give it. So it's not my favorite Jeff Rosenstock album, but I'll have to give it an. I'm gonna have to give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. The 8 out of 10 sounds good. I think it's even slightly better. I think the other, what was the original one called again? No Dream.
No Dream.
Right. I think that's even. That I feel like that's an 8 out of 10 as well. But it's just
Yeah,
I like this one slightly better, but they're about the same for different reasons.
exactly. They're both very. Jeff is just amazing. I'm into the punk rock scene, so I follow the Jeff.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
great. Anything else you have? Because I have two things.
that should be about it. I think.
Okay. So my single that I listened to, I think it's a single. I listened to so this is more like into the metalcore scene. So See You Space Cowboy. Did you listen
Right.
to any of their stuff?
I was. I started to check them out. What was the thing I started to listen to them because you were talking to me about it, and I think it was I listened to A Sure Disaster and Bloodstained Eyes.
Oh, okay. Bloodstained Eyes, yeah. So the ones I listened to were the was there yeah. So Bloodstained Eyes, they released a little EP, I want to say. So it was kind of sure
Oh,
it was a sure disaster, yeah. So it was a sure
that's the EP.
yeah, yeah. A sure disaster is the EP. So it was painting a clear picture from an unreliable narrator and then modernizing the myth of Sisyphus and then Bloodstained Eyes. I didn't listen to the Myth of Sisyphus one, but I did listen to Bloodstained Eyes and painting a clear picture from an unreliable narrator.
Mm.
And I think both of those tracks are hit hard. I
I
think painting a clear picture especially hits hard. It's so good.
I like never heard of this metal group until you pointed it out, and I'm glad you did because now I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, and that whatchamacallit, that little EP was kind of like a collaboration between See You Space Cowboy and If I Die First. And I think, the collaboration is just great, first of all. But then their work on those two songs in particular are just amazing. I think Painting a Clear Picture is probably definitely one of the best songs so
yeah,
far that the two have made together. But then especially bringing everything into the forefront. I think these guys are kind of bringing back metalcore in a way. I think these
yeah,
guys could also start a movement, like kind of like Jeff Rosenstock with ska. I think these guys could kind of bring back uh metalcore and stuff.
awesome. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I can see
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, so then we got and then finally other thing I listened to was Rainbow Bridge 3 by Cemetery.
I listened to. Okay.
So I immediately loved this album. took me a while to understand why I liked this album.
It took me a bit of like digesting. I had to really digest this. Um, I don't think it's my favorite piece of music ever, as you've been telling me. But I see the appeal now, and I like the ideas that are painted here. Like noise trap really excites me. I think this is hitting at something. It's like the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, and like listening to it, it really does go hard, and you can enjoy it and really fuck with it, but you kind of have to like be lost in a trance to it.
Yeah, no, I really like this album a lot with everything it's doing, the effects, the mix. I know you were talking about how like it doesn't sound too hard to create musically, but I think that what like even the small little like some of these lyrics aren't the most what's the word deep. I mean, the man talking about how like he has a Necronomicon and he's like bringing his army of skeletons. It's they're like funny and it's
I
kind of
think it
like
adds to it.
yeah, and it reminds me of almost like the Misfits, with like their whole kind of
Mm.
Halloween shtick, or not shtick, but like appeal and their like aesthetic. And that kind of reminds me of this and even like the album cover with the first Rainbow Bridge, kind of having Cemetery on the cover, looking. I think it's like he's behind rainbows and all this stuff. And now on the most recent Rainbow Bridge 3, he's like in hell, and he has like two dogs with him, and like he has a chainsaw or something like that.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I like I'm curious about Cemetery now. I'm gonna like I still need to digest the album more and more, but I think I get the appeal, but I need to be in a mood for it. I can't
Yeah.
listen to it and be like I'm gonna listen to my. It's not an album that's on rotation.
Yeah, for me, I could just listen to it at any
Um,
moment. I like this album a
personally,
lot.
what's your score for it?
7 out of 10.
Oh, that's what I was gonna give it.
Yeah, I feel like I like the album a lot. Don't get me wrong, but some of these songs are just kind of it's at some point it starts to sound a little similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but
So I feel like if this album was a little shorter, then it would have been even greater.
I feel that, but I think it's important for Cemetery as an artist to make it a long album since
That's true.
I think they can really bring this. I'm putting it at a 7 no matter what, but like I think there are some ideas that are fleshed out, and we could see the results of those ideas very soon. I'm really curious, and I'm glad Fantano brought attention to it because that's how I heard about it.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
like I don't think I would have ever heard about it without Fantano. So that
Yeah,
just shows you how influential this man is.
yeah. All right. Do you have anything else to talk about?
Out of new albums and shit.
Yeah.
No, not really, man. Not really.
All right, sounds good. Then hit us with the suggestion.
All right, my suggestion. So I was thinking about doing a Jeff Rosenstock album if I'm being honest, but I decided no, I've got something else. I really like the punk scene, and I think a thing that we haven't seen done well in years until recently is pop punk. And so I'm gonna bring this Canadian pop punk album that I really like, that I like really really fuck with, and that is Morbid Stuff by Pup.
I've
From
heard of morbid stuff.
you've heard of it?
I've heard of it. Yes.
Have you listened to it or have you like
I
heard of it?
haven't listened to it, but I've heard the name's very familiar.
Yeah, it's a great. I've seen these guys live in concert. It was fantastic. What a rager! It's like this. It's pop punk, but at the same time, it has a different flavor to it. The singing, the lyrics here are so depressing, and I clicked with it the first time I heard it. I was listening to the singles leading up, and I was so excited for this to drop. It dropped. Fantano reviewed it, and I was like, it should be higher, but I still really like this album, and maybe I'll agree with Fantano after revisiting it. And I've also been playing this album nonstop recently. Really, I forgot how much I fuck with these songs.
Yeah. All
um,
right. Cool. We'll listen to it next week then.
yeah, I might have set the expectations too high, but yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well, I guess that's the end. That's our after school special. Running through them all. We didn't really rate everything, I guess, but we're just kind of trying to blast through these songs and albums and just giving our opinions on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, bye.
Bye.
We'll see y'all next week. See ya.